Okay, so once again, I was just denied a job interview because I'm a white male. And this is not the first time this has happened, and I'm starting to get actually angry now because this is just ridiculous. You can see from the title of this video, uh, businesses in LA, a lot of businesses in LA, especially restaurants, which is what the business today was that I was trying to apply to. A lot of them don't like hiring white men, and they have like a thing where they don't want, and I've been told this before by more than one person, they don't like hiring white men because it's seen as like, anti-progressive, or that they're trying to be progressive or feminist or equal, and it's seen as a bad thing to hire white males to work in their business. And this has been going on for 3 months now, where I'm trying to find a job. I just left the film industry, and I've been trying to apply for restaurants, to do just about anything, to be a busboy, to be a waiter, to be a host, to be a dishwasher. I go on Craigslist, I go in restaurants without wanted signs, I do everything I can because I need a job. Like, I'm hungry. I'm broke. Like, there are days when I have to choose like what meal I'm gonna skip today, or what 2 meals I'm gonna skip today. Or there are some days I don't eat at all because I have to save for rent so I don't end up on the streets. And today, something happens yet again that happens all the time. And I'm so sick of it, I'm going to make a video about it because it happens a lot. And I live in Los Angeles, and I walk around Hollywood, and I'm starting to see more and more, like, I go out walking, and I see like these white guys like with backpacks, kind of walking around with nowhere to go, and you could tell that they're homeless, or they're unemployed, they have nothing to do, and it's happening a lot. So let me tell you the story of what happened today. I had an interview at a restaurant for today at 11:30. I'm not going to say what restaurant it was, but it's a restaurant in Los Angeles, and this was scheduled 4 days ago, okay, for 11:30 to be a host. So first of all, I come in, and the valet guy, he tries to get me waiting outside next to this construction crew. I'm like, no way, I'm gonna wait inside, like right away. And he tried following me in, and like it was a really, really weird thing, but I thought that was whatever. But when I get into the restaurant and I meet the manager, I sit down and we have a brief chat, and he says, oh, well, the manager you were going to talk to isn't actually here right now, but when you wait for her to come, how about you interview for busboy too, just in the time you're waiting? I thought, okay. And he says, okay, well, that'll be just a few minutes, so just wait. I was looking around the restaurant, and you could tell it was very obviously like, kind of a progressive, feminist kind of vibe. There were no white male employees at all, with the exception of the manager who was the owner. It was his place that he opened up. But all of the hired employees, all of the hired staff, there were no white men whatsoever. There were plenty of white women, but there were no white men, and there were actually very few men in general. There were no black men either. So this is not just something that happens to white men. There were only 2 guys there, and there were about 10 women there. So finally, the guy comes to interview me to be a busser, and the interview goes okay. It's not the position that I went for. It's not the position that we scheduled for, but okay, I thought I may as well do it. So when that was done, I go back into the main bar, and I say, okay, I finished that interview. I'm ready for the interview for the host now. And this is what I was told. They said, oh, yeah, actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. Let's just see what the busboy interview is like, and then we'll let you know next week. And the tone of voice was like, we don't even want you here. Like, you shouldn't even be here. And the person that agreed to meet me at 11:30 didn't even bother showing up. She knew that I had that interview scheduled at 11:30 because they had a copy of my resume that they printed out that they wrote 11:30 on it. So they knew I was scheduled for 11:30, and they didn't even show up. Because as soon as I walked in as a white male, that's it. They had no interest in hiring me. And this is something that I've been told more than once by more than one person. I've been told that businesses, restaurants especially, don't like hiring white males because they don't like being seen hiring white males. Like it's a bad thing. Like people will say, oh, they hire white men to be waiters. I don't want to eat there. They hire white men to be busboys or to clean the tables. I don't want to eat there. Like it's a bad thing to hire someone because they happen to have been born white and they happen to have been born male. So we're not going to hire them because they're dirty, because they're lower than us, because they're a lesser kind of person. That's how I felt. Like I was a subhuman to them, like I was a lesser person. I've been trying to find a job in Los Angeles since November. I've been working in the film industry for the last 2.5 years, doing complete BS stuff, like being an extra, being a PA, all that kind of stuff. And now I'm ready to get back to like a regular job. I've kept accounts on my Gmail of every Craigslist ad for a restaurant I'm now hiring that I've replied to. As of today, since November, it's 107. 107 applications. I've had 9 interviews, and I've had 0 offers. That's just completely ridiculous. And this is my resume. Okay, you can see my resume here. You can see I stopped working in 2017 because that's when I kind of went into film full time and trying to make that happen. But you can see I do have experience working in restaurants, working in culinary staffing, working as a host, working as a server, working as a cashier. I've been doing this for a while. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with me. There's no reason why I can't clean a table. There's no reason why I can't serve your food. There's no reason why I'm turned down 107 times. But I've been told by more than one person that restaurants in LA don't hire white men. And they think that it's so progressive and they think that it's so equal and so feminist. But young men are doing worse right now. This is part of that whole series about the young male crisis. As I showed these things here, young men are the ones out of work. Young men are the ones who are struggling to find work. And now we're being punished even more for the way we were born. And again, in Los Angeles, like the whole cultural, I'm going to use the word hate because that's what it is the worst against white men. But if you're a black man, or if you're a man of any race, if you're male at all, feminism is not on your side. Feminism does not like you. And eventually, if you're a man of color, they say that, oh, we support you because you're a man of color, but eventually they will be against you too. I'm just one who's first. So it's ridiculous. I've lost weight in the last few months because I can't get enough money to eat. I can't get a job serving tables, cleaning tables. Like, I'm not good enough to do that? Really? At all? That's like imagine what I feel like. I go into a restaurant to do a job interview that's been scheduled for 4 days, and I'm treated like garbage because of the way that I was born. 100 interviews, 100 applications, and I only get 9 interviews. It's ridiculous, and it happens all the time. And this is what feminism thinks equality is. So when people ask, why are you anti-feminist? How come you're against feminism? Feminism is about equality, helping men too. No, it's not. Because feminists believe you shouldn't even hire someone to clean your tables if they were born a certain race and gender, if they were born the wrong way. They shouldn't even be working here. We don't even want people to see them working here. People wonder why I'm against that? Really? Really?